Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Jnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Salakaya Chakkhurunimilitam Jena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. Sri Chaitanya Manovishtam Stapitam Jena Bhutale Soyam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Tapadakamalam Sri Gurun Vaishnavanam Cha Sirupam Sagrajatam Saganasi Raghunatham Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sagana Litam Sri Vishakham Vitam Cha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopisya Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुता देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छा कल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुवैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमति भक्ति वेदांत स्वामीति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देश तारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। So Hare Krishna. So welcome to the Bhagavad Gita chapter 4 transcendental knowledge. This is very, very important subject matter as Prabhupada said. So whole Bhagavad Gita scheme is to get us out from this material engagement. That is entire Bhagavad Gita scheme. So Lord spoke this Bhagavad Gita so that we will be delivered from this material engagement, material entanglement. So in chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter 3, let us have a summary. In chapter 1, we have learned that how this material attachment is the cause of our bondage. Arjuna was lamenting, Arjuna being bewildered, being overwhelmed with compassion for his own kith and kins. He declined to fight in this chapter 1, we say. So this is the most important thing to learn, that how this material attachment that causes bondage in this material world. And we have been entrapped in this material world since time immemorial. We have been struck in this material world since time immemorial on this account of material attachment. Therefore, Shastra is telling beautifully that whosoever thinking that I am this material body, jasyatma buddhi punapetri dhatuke swadhi kalatri dasu bhauma ijhadi ya tirtha buddhi salile na karche janisu abhigyasu seva gokara. This is very important things in chapter 2, learn chapter 1. What is the lesson from the chapter 1 of Bhagavad Gita? This is very important. One who identifies himself as the inert body composed of mucus, bile, air, who assumes his wife, family are permanently his own, who thinks an earthen image or the land of his birth is worshipable, who sees a place of pilgrimage as merely the water there, but who never identify himself with fields of kinship, worship, or even visit those who are wise in spiritual truth. Such a person is not better than a cow and ass. So Arjuna is having same symptoms. He is representing the conditioned soul in this material world, who has been struck, who has been, entrapped since time immemorial. So what is our main fault? Arjuna, just like Arjuna, declined to fight. Why? Because he does not want, he's so much attached to his family, in kith and kins. He does not want to see him dead, see them dead. He does not want to kill them. So therefore, he is lamenting for this. He is in a very, he declined to fight in a very, what you say, very despair situation. He do not know what to do. Even though Krishna was there with him, still he persistently told to Krishna, I shall not fight, I shall not fight. Krishna in second chapter inducing him that you are a Kshatriya, you perform your duty as a Kshatriya. Do not think of that, no, his opponent is your enemy or opponent is your friends or family. But still Arjuna was not moved, was not convinced. Then he was bewildered, he was confused what to do. Then he surrendered to Krishna. Then Krishna in second chapter enlightened Arjuna that you are not this body, you are the spirit soul. Although you are speaking big word, but you are not actually intelligent. You are not learned. So you must know what is the distinction between body and soul. That which vinasis to tadviti, jaina sarvam idam tatam. So Krishna says that which is pervading entire body, it is the soul. It is the consciousness. Symptom of consciousness is the presence of soul. And body is prone to die, prone to death, prone to destroy. So in second chapter, he was enlightened by the Lord about the philosophy, Sankhya philosophy, about the identification, our real identity. And in third chapter, Lord is canvassing him, Lord is enlightening him about the karma yoga, how to adopt a karma yoga process, so that although we are in this material body, still we can work on a spiritual consciousness. That is important, so that we can get out from this material entanglement without any karmic reaction. In third chapter also, Krishna, Arjuna asked that which is our greatest enemy. That is the lost only, kama eso krodha eso. Whole modern science, whole modern world is working on this platform of lost. They want to lord over the material nature. They want to exploit the material resources. Everyone wanted that, lost, hankering for that. That is the cause of our bondage. Because we are not the proprietor of this material nature. How can we control it? That is not possible. Therefore, in the last verses of third chapter, Lord say that this lost is the enemy of the living entities. So therefore, and the strategic location where the lost resides is our senses, mind, and intelligence. Therefore, we have to replace this one with Krishna consciousness, spiritual consciousness. How to replace it? We need transcendental knowledge. Today we are reading the transcendental knowledge, very important subject. How to replace that lost with spiritual consciousness with transcendental knowledge, with Krishna consciousness with transcendental knowledge, so that we will escape from this material imbroglio, material, situation, material atmosphere. The whole Bhagavad Gītā scheme or Krishna's desire, so that living entity should come out, should escape from this material atmosphere, go to the spiritual atmosphere. So on these notes, we can start with this first verses of chapter 1, chapter 4, taste 1. The chapter 4, taste 1 start with this knowledge, this transcendental knowledge, history of transcendental knowledge. So Krishna say, Bhagavan Uvacha, Imam vivasvate yogam praktavan ahamabhyam vivasan manave praha manur ikhyaku abrabit. So here Krishna is speaking about the history of this transcendental knowledge. It was not, Arjuna, that 5,000 years back I spoke to you, but I spoke to millions of years ago to the sun god. The blessed Lord said, I instructed this imperishable science of yoga to the sun god Vibhasan. And Vibhasan instructed to Manu, the father of mankind. Manu in turn instructed to Ikshvaku. So here it is said that the history of Bhagavad Gītā is spoken millions of years to sun god. Just like we have got so many planets. It's not like that planets are empty or nobody there. No. Just like we have got president, we have got prime minister, we have got king. Similarly, in the sun god also, there is a sun god is there. Of course, somebody may say that how people can live in the sun. Just like this planet called Earth, the predominant element called Earth. So we are all earthly elements. Therefore, we can live. All living entity are earthly elements. Similarly, in sun planet, all the predominant element is fire. So all these people are fiery body. It's not like that, supposing just like a country like Singapore. It will not build some houses just for empty, nobody to reside or accommodate. No. Similar, it's not a foolish. Similarly, God is not foolish. He created all the planets simply empty. No. He created to accommodate the conditioned soul. So different atmosphere, like just like water. In water, the atmosphere is predominant element is water. Therefore, all this living entity inside the water, watery element, they know how to swim. They do not know scuba diving, etc. They are naturally scuba divers. So, and every planet has got a chief, a president. The president of sun planet is called Vibhasan. His name is Vibhasan. The Lord said, I spoke this imperishable science. Bhagavad Gītā is the science of yoga. Yoga means connecting to God. So the transcendental knowledge is the knowledge that connect to divine, connect to Krishna, connect to the God. So this is the science of yoga, Bhagavad Gītā. In Bhagavad Gītā, so many yoga system has been explained: karma yoga, jnana yoga, dhyana yoga, bhakti yoga. So it's the science of yoga. Means how to connect to the God. At present, we have disconnected the God. Therefore, we are in a very precarious situation. We have forgotten our constitutional position. We have forgotten that knowledge that we are spirit soul. But circumstantially, we have entrapped in this material body. As a result, we are suffering. Birth after birth after birth. So this transcendental knowledge is very important, because unless we have that transcendental knowledge, we cannot come to the platform of spiritual consciousness or Krishna consciousness. We cannot understand our real identity. We cannot reinstate our constitutional position as a spirit soul and a part and parcel of this super soul, supreme soul or super soul. And our activity should be dovetailed with that super soul or God. That is whole idea, whole knowledge of Bhagavad Gītā. So in second verses, of course, Ikshvaku, the sun god is actually, it is all history of Bhagavad Gītā. Also, the Bhagavad Gītā cannot be understood just like you go to the market and buy some maybe 200 rupees in India. Here we sell $25 in Singapore. So it's not like that you go to market and purchase, you can understand. No. So it has to be understood through the disciplic succession. In the next verses, Krishna is explaining how. So this verses, Krishna say, I spoke to Vibhasan, the sun god. Sun god spoke to his son Manu, father of mankind. The word main is coming from Manu. And Manu spoke to his disciple Ikshvaku. Ikshvaku is the forefather of Lord Ramchandra. So in this way, this knowledge has been descended or coming through the disciplic succession. So in the next verses, we will see that Krishna is speaking about the next verses. Evam parampara praptam imam rajarishya vidu sakalena mahata jaganasta parantapa The supreme science was thus received through the chain of disciplic succession. Saintly king understood it in that way. But in course of time, the succession was broken. Therefore, the science as it is appears to be lost. So Krishna here confirmed or stated very categorically that this science of Bhagavad Gītā, or the science of supreme science, the wisdom of Bhagavad Gītā, is received through disciplic succession. Disciplic succession means there are two ways of acquiring knowledge. One is inductive method, one is deductive method. Supposing if I say, example, man is mortal and Mr. Tom is a man, then that means Mr. Tom is mortal. So that is called deductive method. If it's inductive method, the science, observation, experiment. So you go and check on every main experiment whether it's mortal or not. Sometimes it happened that if somebody also is, let's say, not mortal, immortal, let's say, still you may experiment somebody is immortal, still your experiment may not be correct. Is not correct, not may not be, is not correct. How? Because in material world, all living entity has got four primary defects, fundamental defects. What are the fundamental defects? It is stated by scripture that the fundamental defects are Brahma Pramada Vipralipsa Karana Patva Ishware Vakya Nahi Dosa Isava. The material defects of mistakes, illusion, cheating. Mistake means we are prone to, we have a tendency to make mistake. To err is human. Illusion, we have tendency to make illusion. Sometimes we are thinking of something, sometimes we are thinking, but that is not the case. Cheating, we have a propensity to cheating. Just like you go to shopkeeper. We are thinking that I get this product with very cheap price. But shopkeeper also thinking that I cheated the customer. I have got the profit. So in this way, this cheating, we have a tendency to cheat. Sensory inefficiency means imperfect senses. We have got imperfect senses. Sometimes people say, show me God. What is the power of our eyes? We cannot even see when light is off. We cannot see our eyelid, ultraviolet ray. So many things we cannot see. Still we are proud of our eyes, proud of our senses. So therefore we have four defects which do not exist in the word of Supreme Lord. Therefore Bhagavad Gītā knowledge is all perfect. Vedic knowledge is all perfect. Deductive method is all perfect. It comes down, the knowledge comes down from the God, originally from the God. Therefore Krishna say, I spoke to the Sun God. Sun God spoke to his son Manu. Manu spoke to his disciple Ikyaku. In this way this knowledge has been descending. Therefore this knowledge is perfect. But what happened? Krishna also say another thing. That knowledge is also lost. But in course of time, the succession was broken. Therefore, science as it is appears to be lost. So there is one more important thing to understand. Why this is lost? The knowledge is there. The Bhagavad Gītā is not torn down. No. Or tear. Knowledge is not destroyed. But why it is lost? Because the purport is lost. The meaning is lost. So many people misinterpreted it according to their own personal whim. Just like Gandhi. Mahatma Gandhi in India, he also wrote Bhagavad Gītā. But he advocated non-violence in Bhagavad Gītā. Where is non-violence in Bhagavad Gītā? Bhagavad Gītā is evolved on the point that the protagonist Arjuna declined to fight and Krishna induced him to fight, induced him to violence. It is necessary because Krishna has come to establish the dharma sansthapanarthaya sambhavami juge juge. So Krishna has come to establish the dharma. Therefore, the violence is necessary. Where is the question of non-violence? But Mahatma Gandhi interpreted as, oh, this is non-violence. Same things Dr. Sarvapalli Radhakrishnan, who was the second president of India. So he also interpreted in so many other ways. So there is no necessity of interpretation. In this way, it is lost. Because purport is lost. Therefore, Krishna says that, Arjuna, I am now speaking to you again that same science. Soyavayam mayatyadya yoga prakta puratana bhaktosimi sakateti rahasami etadito. So another qualification to understand, first of all, you have to understand through the reciprocal succession. Now Krishna telling that, Arjuna, that very ancient science of the relationship with Supreme is today told by me to you because you are my devotee as well as my friend. Therefore, you can understand the transcendental mystery of the science. So, Krishna again making the new disciplic succession with Arjuna. And why Arjuna? What is the qualification of Arjuna? He is a family man. He is a Kshatriya. He is not a Brahmana even. He is not a great Rishi like Vyasadeva, Vaishishta. What is the qualification to understand Bhagavad Gītā? First thing, it has to be received through disciplic succession parampara. Second, bona fide parampara. India, we have got 4 parampara system. One is Vishnu Swami from Lakshmi, from Brahma, from Lord Shiva, from Kumara. Sri Sampradaya, Brahma Sampradaya, then Rudra Sampradaya, then Lakshmi Sampradaya. Kumara Sampradaya. So these are bona fide, they are university. Bona fide Sampradaya. It has to be received through the bona fide Sampradaya. And second qualification to understand is that Bhaktosimi Sakhati. Bhaktosimi. Unless one is a devotee of the Lord Krishna, surrender, just like Arjuna. He was confused whether to fight or not. But he surrendered to the Lord and accepted him as a spiritual master. So once, if you do not surrender to Krishna, if you are not a devotee of Krishna, understanding Bhagavad Gītā is impossible, next to impossible. You may try. It cannot be understood by erudite scholarship. No. Krishna say clearly, because you are my devotee and friend, you can understand the transcendental mystery of this science. This mystery of this science is very mysterious. So we cannot understand it unless we have to become a devotee of Krishna. So this is the second qualification needed. We cannot just purchase a Bhagavad Gītā and read. No, that is not possible. And understand it. Many people do that. They do not follow the process. The process of understanding Bhagavad Gītā is given by the author himself. And you want to bypass the author and try to become so smart and understand the Bhagavad Gītā. Just like Prabhupada given an example, there was a author. He has written a book called Shahjahan. But in that book, he has written all about Aurangzeb. So one of his friends told that why this title is Shahjahan? It should be Aurangzeb. Because you have written everything about Aurangzeb. But he revealed that why the Shahjahan is the root of everything. So now author only revealed, then only everybody can know. See, here Krishna is revealing the process, the bona fide process, authentic process of understanding Bhagavad Gītā. It has to be from disciplic succession, and also one has to be devotee. Therefore, Krishna also say 1868, Jaidam paramam guhyam madabhaktesu abhidishyati. One should preach this to my devotee. One should not preach to those who are envious, non-devotee. So whole material world is a university of knowledge. So Krishna giving this transcendental knowledge for that purpose, that we can get out from this material world. We should not neglect the Bhagavad Gītā, this transcendental knowledge. So the next verses Krishna is telling that Arjuna is now doubtful. So Arjuna telling, aparam bhavata janma param janma vivashyata katham etad vijaniyam tvam adau praktaniti. So Arjuna said that the son god Vivasana is very senior. by birth to you. How am I to understand that in the beginning you instructed this science to him? That is very important. See, Arjuna here doubting that you are my contemporary. How you say that I spoke to sun god? How is it possible? Is clearing the doubt not only to him but to everyone. This is the position of the Krishna will be revealed now. Sometimes people do not know the author. They wanted to read Bhagavad Gītā without even respecting the author, without even surrendering to the author. So here Krishna say, Sri Bhagavan Uvacha, Bahuni me Gatitani Janmani Tavacha Arjuna Tani Aham Veda Sarvani Natvam Veda Parantapa. The very, very important thing. The blessed Lord say that many births both you and I have passed. I can remember all of them, but you cannot or subdue your enemy. So that is the difference between living entity and a God. As we forget, death means forgetfulness. We do not remember. Sometimes the child remembering his past life for few years, but we don't remember. That is forgetfulness. But Krishna is Achutya. We are Chutya. We fallen. So we cannot understand. But Krishna, many births he understood because his body is not like our body. We change our body to different body. So we forgot everything. But Krishna remembers everything. That is the difference between Krishna and living entity. He is Achutya, he is Advaita. Why he remembers? Because his body is not material body, his transcendental body. He never deteriorates. He never dies. Of course, living entity never dies, but circumstantially we have been trapped in this body, therefore we have to die. As long as we have this entrapped in this body, we have to die. We have to take birth. So whole Bhagavad Gītā scheme is to disentangle from this gross and subtle body. Extricate the soul, release the soul from this imprisonment of the body and subtle body and gross body. That is whole scheme of Bhagavad Gītā. So here Krishna says, I remember, but you do not remember. Advaitam atityam anadir anantarupam addam purana purusam navajovanam cha vede sudullavam adallavam atma bhakto govindam adi purusam tamam bhadat. So Krishna is not simple. Krishna is Advaitam Atutyam. He cannot fall down. He is not like living entity. Ajopisan abhyatma bhutanam ishwarapisan prakritim swamadhishtaya sambhavami atma mayaya. This is very important verses. Although I am unborn, my transcendental body never deteriorates. Although I am the Lord of all sentient beings, I still appear in every millennium in my original transcendental form. So the difference between Krishna body and our body, Krishna body is transcendental. He does not appear out of karma. No. Namam karmani limpanti. So he is coming according to his sweet will. There is no karma affecting Krishna. We come as according to our karma. Karanam guna sangasya sadasada janma janmisu. Karmena daivanetrena. According to karma, we take birth. Somebody is Bill Gates, somebody is gatekeeper, somebody is animal, somebody is bee, somebody is tree, somebody is plant, some fish. According to our karma. But Krishna has no karma. Namam karmani limpanti. Later in this verses, he tells 14. Namam karmani limpanti. No karma affects him. He comes as a sweet way. His body is unborn, aja. He is unborn. And his transcendental body also never deteriorates. Although he comes as a manusya, is in a human form, but his body never deteriorates. Avajananti mama mudha manusim tanu asritam. Ajananta param brahma mama vuttamaisara. Fools sometimes deride, oh, Krishna is like us, maybe great personality. But no, he is Supreme Lord. He is Supreme Lord. When you were a small child, he killed also demon. He lifted Govardhan. So his body is never deteriorates. He is never old like old men. He's unborn, he's very old man. Advaitam, Achyutam, Anadir, Anantaram, Addam, Purana Purusam. Very oldest man is Krishna. Like old man, no. He's always Navajovana, very young, youthful. Therefore, he remembers, we don't remember. That is different. So, this is about his appearance. Therefore, he said that in later chapter, Janma Karma Chame Divyam. My appearance and activities are not ordinary like us. But his Janma Karma is very Divyam, transcendental. We are under the control of the material nature. We do not know. We are thinking I am the doer. But body, mechanism of body is under the control of modes of material nature. We cannot even control our, answer the call of nature, fever, disease, death. So we have no control. But Krishna is not like that. He is transcendental. His appearance is transcendental. His body is transcendental. His activities also. Everything about Krishna is transcendental. Therefore, he remembers everything. He spoke to Sun God. So here, after revealing his identity, now Krishna is now giving what is the purpose of coming. Yada jada hi. This is a very, very important verse. Yada jada hi dharmasya glanir bhavati bharata abhithanam adharmasya tadatmanam sudhamya. Yada jada hi dharmasya glanir bhavati bharata. What is the purpose of incarnation? Purpose of coming, descending. Avatara means who descends from the spiritual sky. So why Krishna appears? That is, Krishna himself reveals. Wherever there is a decline in religious practice, or descendants of Bharat, a predominant rise of a religion, at that time I descend myself. So here, dharma does not mean that Hindu or Muslim or Christian, no. Dharma is very loosely translated in dictionary as a faith. So today I may profess Hindu, tomorrow I may change to Christianity. So that is actually not the exact definition of dharma, which is loosely translated in English dictionary. In Sanskrit dictionary, dharma means characteristic, inherent characteristic. Just like a dharma of a water is liquidity, dharma of a sweetness, dharma of a salty. So that characteristic which cannot be separated. You cannot separate liquidity from water. Similarly, what is the dharma of every living entity? That dharma is characteristic. Our inherent characteristic is that how to serve Krishna. Krishnera Nitya Dasa. We are subservient of the Supreme Lord. We are part and parcel and subservient of the Supreme Lord. That is our dharma. Just like dharma of a finger to serve the body. So we are part and parcel of the Lord. He is Supreme Spirit Soul. We are Spirit Soul. And we are meant to serve Him. We are meant to cooperate Him. As long as we are cooperating, we are happy. As soon as we are not cooperating, we are being sent off in this material world and suffering since time memorial. Just like a finger, as long as he's serving the body, he is active. He is in healthy position. But if he is not serving the body, he is very weak. So here the religious is not a faith, it's a inherent characteristic. So when there is a discrepancy, when people forget their dharma to serve Krishna, that time when there's a predominant rise, there's a gross discrepancy in execution of the occupational activities or dharma of living entities, that time Krishna comes to set it. Because people thinking that I don't care. My dharma to how to become advanced in Krishna consciousness, how to advance in material consciousness, how to become hankering for this material, explore the material resources. So all this misdirected dharma, as a result, they are suffering. Therefore, Krishna comes to set up dharma so that living entity can be relieved from all these unwanted things, undesirable, unacceptable miseries. So how he does that, how he set up the dharma, he told that my purpose to establish the dharma. There are so many verses on this from Srimad Bhagavatam and all, because we have to finish all the classes, so we should know the most summary study of this one, synopsis or themes of this chapter. Otherwise, we have so many things, how Lord comes different incarnation, from fish incarnation, tortoise incarnation, so many incarnation. It is stated in so many verses how Lord comes different incarnations. And so we can see here that here it is stated in this beautiful verses, O king, for the sake of protecting cow, brahmanas, demigod, devotee, Vedic literature, religious principle to fulfill the purpose of life. That is very important. Principle to fulfill the purpose of life. We do not know about dharma means purpose of life. The Supreme Personality of Godhead accepts the form of incarnation. Different incarnation he comes. So that is the whole idea of this incarnation actually. So he wanted to do the welfare work. So it is stated particularly to show causeless mercy to devotee who would take birth in future in the stage of Kali. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, acted in such a way that simply by remembering him one will be freed from all lamentation and unhappiness of material existence. In other words, he acted so that all future devotee, by accepting the instruction of Krishna consciousness stated in Bhagavad Gita, could be relieved from the pang of material existence. It's a bang on verse. So that we will know this, what is Bhagavad Gita, what is transcendental knowledge, so that we can be relieved from the pangs of material existence. People even do not know that they are diseased. If you do not know their disease and suffering, how can they go to the physician or doctor to get cured? How much we are ignorant. Therefore, it is said that cow and ass, jasatma buddhi. Jasatma buddhi, they are thinking that I am this body. That kind of knowledge is called knowledge of cow and ass. Cow and ass means what? No intelligence. Animal has no intelligence. That kind of animal consciousness, animal intelligence, means no intelligence. Therefore, Krishna is coming. Yada jada dharmasya glanir bhavati bharata vithanam adharmasya tadatmanam sadame. How he does that? How he established dharma? Paritranaya sadhunam vinasaya cha duskritam dharma sanstapanarthaya sambhamani. The whole idea to re-establish the dharma, the purpose of life of living entity. Dharma means what is the inherent characteristic, what is the purpose of life. We have forgotten. So to make us, remind us, so therefore he is setting up the dharma sanstapanarthaya. Paritranaya sadhuna, in the process of establishing the principle of religion, he has to paritranaya sadhuna, in order to deliver the pious or devotees, and vinasaya cha dushkitam, kill the miscreants who are the stumbling blocks, who are the impediments in the process of establishing principle of religion. He has to exterminate them, just like this war, Kurukshetra war. He wanted, it is the plan of Krishna that he wanted to get rid of all unwanted elements who are the stumbling blocks on the process of establishing dharma. Therefore, Arjuna, he made the Arjuna as an instrument. You become instrument, fight. This is my plan. Arjuna understood it. That is real understanding of Bhagavad Gita. How to act on the transcendental knowledge or Krishna consciousness. Everything we are acting in this material world on material consciousness. How I can get benefit. Arjuna was thinking how I can get benefit. I cannot get any benefit in this world because I have to kill my families. He was not concerned about what Krishna wants, what Krishna plans. Whole Bhagavad Gita understanding or knowledge is based on that we have to dovetail everything on the platform of what Krishna wants. What is Krishna plan? That is the transcendental knowledge. That is the real platform, real spiritual consciousness. So here it is said that paritranaya sadhuna vinasaya chaturdushkitam dharma sanstapanartha sambhavani. He comes so many incarnations. Asankhya, Hari Asankhya avatar. In this way he comes. Then next verse, Krishna is speaking about his, this is a very, very beautiful verses, because this is a golden formula how to get out from this material entanglement. Janma karma chame divyam evam jabeti tattatah takta deham punarjanma naiti mameti sarjuna. So one who knows the transcendental nature of my appearance activity does not, upon leaving the body, takes his birth again in this material world, but attains my eternal abode, Arjuna. Very gem. This is the what you say, graduate process of bhakti. This is a very golden formula to escape from this material entanglement. Simply we have to understand the janma, the appearance of Krishna, and his activities are transcendental. Krishna never appeared as an ordinary human being. He appears as a four-handed form, as a Vishnu. Then he transformed to small Krishna. He is not, as I told you, he is not obliged to come as per the karma or as per any scheduled time. Also there is a scheduled time. He comes in 28 millennium and the end of Dwapara Yuga. On 7th Manu he comes, but he is not obliged to come. Not like that, oh, that is scheduled means I will come. No, he is not obliged. He comes free will. Is free will. Is Swarat, supremely independent. So who knows my appearance and activity? Krishna activities are transcendental. Small boy also he was killing Putana, Agasura, Bakasura, Trinavat. So his activities are not ordinary human being cannot kill. A big demons cannot lift Govardhan, big mountain. His transcendental activities. And how to know this? It's not that easy to know. Because to know this one, it's not so easy to know that his appearance and activity. So many people are there. See, in the party of Duryodhana, they could not understand Krishna. Why? Many people do not understand. Why? Because to understand Krishna, Ataha Sri Krishna Navadi Na Bhapet Grihatendriya, we cannot understand his appearance and activities by blunt sense. Only by bhakti. Sevan Mukha Jivadav, by process of engaging in bhakti right from our tongue. Tongue is very important. In tongue we can vibrating so many nonsense things. Instead of talking all this nonsense, we can chant the name of the Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. And in that tongue also we can take prasad, the remnant of food of Krishna, so that in this way you can purify. By this process of bhakti, which is beginning from the tongue, we can understand Krishna. Therefore, Krishna say, later chapter, Bhaktamava vijananti javanjacha sami tattataho. Here it is say also tattataho, in truth. To understand Krishna in truth, we have to become bhakta by process of bhakti. So Krishna consciousness is nothing but a process of bhakti, devotional service to Krishna. So that we can understand his appearance, his activities. And once we understand what is the benefit is that we will not take birth again in this material world. It's an easy process to escape. It's an easy process to escape from this material world. Then in next verses, Krishna has spoken very nicely that Vitaraga bhaya krodha manmaya mam upasita bhava jnana tapasa putamad bhavam agataha. Being freed from attachment, fear, anger, being fully absorbed in me, taking refuge in me, many persons in the past become purified by knowledge of me, thus they all attained transcendental love for me. So Krishna is telling that in history there are so many people, they have come to me. How? Because you have to free from attachment. To understand Krishna, we have to purify ourselves by the knowledge Knowledge is transcendental knowledge, because we have got attachment, lost, which is the enemy. We have got fear. Everybody is fearing. Everybody is lost. Fear is there. So different degree of attachment. Because of attachment called raga. Raga means strong attachment to material life. Just like Arjuna. So much attachment to his kith and kins, he declined to fight. He was overtaken by the ocean of grief. He could not even perform his duty as a Kshatriya. So therefore, strong attachment to material life leads to negligence of spiritual life. Advancement of spiritual life means detachment from material life. There is no other formula. Prabhupada said. You can test yourself. Nobody tests your spiritual advancement. You may say big talk. You may say big things. You may put big tilaks, dhoti, kurta. You may be a brahmachari, sannyasi, grahastha, vanaprastha. You may come to temple, attend Mangalarti. But the test is that whether you have detached from the material life. That is the test. So this raga, as long as we have got tinge of attachment, we cannot go back to Godhead. We cannot escape. We have to fulfill that desire. We have to take bath. Therefore, attachment are lost. Very dangerous. Raga means also kind of attachment. From attachment, lost comes now. Bhaya. Bhaya means fear, fearful. Fear of personal spiritual identity. So, this is the problem. Fearing. They do not know the bodily concept of life. Therefore, they do not know what is their spiritual identity. Therefore, fear comes. When fear comes, as long as we turn away from the Lord, we are identified by the body. And body is subject to so much trials, trouble and tribulation. Therefore, fear comes. There is a beautiful verses in this regard. Prabhupada always quoted, 11 to 37. But they're very, very nice verses. He say that, Bhayam Dvitiya Abhinivetsya Tasyad. That means, fear arises when a living entity misidentify himself as a material body because of absorption in the external illusory energy of the Lord. When the living entity turns away from the Supreme Lord, he also forgets his own constitutional position as a servant of the Lord. This bewildering, fearful condition affected by potency for illusion called Maya. As soon as we are turned away from Krishna, we are now in the capture of Maya, and it is fearful. Because we do not know our spiritual identity. Material identity is always fearful because we are prone to die, prone to disease, prone to birth, old age, and so many other problems. So we are always in constant fear, actually. So that is called fear. And krodho, Krishna say, raga, bhaya, krodho. Krodho is also very important because the frustration, we have some attachment, we have some lost, and we cannot get it because we are not the controller of the material nature. Then when we fail it results angry. Angry is like a kind of hallucination, kind of ignorance, mode of ignorance. So Krishna say that Krishna say that many people, because of this knowledge, they have free from the attachment, fear and anger, which is really binding force, which is binds us in this material world since time immemorial. And we can be purified. And many persons purified by this knowledge, they attain transcendental love for me. So therefore, this transcendental knowledge is very important. The knowledge about Krishna, how Krishna appears, what is the purpose of Krishna's appearance, all these things is very, very important subject matter. That can be understood by the process of Bhagavad Gītā, by process of bhakti, which is Krishna has spoken, that how to come to the spiritual consciousness, understanding that we are part and parcel of the Lord. So everything, all our activities, all our action has to be meant to satisfy. Therefore, the yajna or sacrifice meant to satisfy the Lord. So then in next verses, Krishna is very nicely telling. Next verses is all about Jathamang prapandyante stang prateva bhajami ham mama bhattan bhattante manusyaha partha sarvasa. This is a very important verse. Many devotees, they do not understand this one. Krishna say that many of the people, they say that, not devotee, many of the other devotee kind of thing, those who have not coming from the disciplic succession, they misinterpreted it. They have a thought that every path goes to the same destination. But Krishna say that no, as they surrender, I reward accordingly. I reward accordingly. Not that everybody comes to the same conclusion. Supposing if I take a flight to America, I cannot end up with Japan or Germany. Similarly, that not all the path leads to the same destination. Yatha mat tatha path, they say no. Therefore, Krishna already said that in Bhagavad Gītā many times that different path leads to different destination. In the next verses also he said that the demigod worshipper will go to demigod planet, but my devotee will go to my planet, which is supreme. It's not that everybody leads to whatever the path you take, it leads to same destination. That is wrong. Everyone is searching for Krishna in different aspect of his manifestation. Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, is partially realized in his impersonal Brahmajyoti effulgence, all-pervading super soul, dwelling within everything, including the particular atom. But Krishna is only fully realized by his pure devotee. Consequently, Krishna is the object of everyone realization. That everyone is satisfied according to one's desire to have him. In the transcendental world, Krishna reciprocated with his pure devotee in the transcendental attitude, just as the devotee wants him. One devotee may want Krishna as the supreme master, another one as his personal friend, another is son, and still another is lover. Krishna reward all the devotee equally according to the different intensities of love in him. In the material world, same reciprocation of the feelings are there. And they are equally extended by the Lord with the different type of worshipper. The pure devotee, both here in the transcendental abode, associate with him in a person, are able to render personal service to the Lord, thus derive transcendental bliss in his loving service. So here it is said that not that everybody is going to same different path according to their inclination and intensity of the love. Somebody is praying, this is just like impersonalist. They're praying to merge into the Krishna. This is spiritual suicide. The yogis, impersonalist means jnani, the speculative process. They want to understand Krishna. They want to merge. The jnani, or that is called liberation, moksha. The yogis, Himalaya and all, the yogi, meditational process, Ashtanga yogi, Hatha yogi, they want to see the Lord in their heart as a Paramatma. So that is also one kind of realization, but that is not the absolute realization. That is not the complete realization. The complete realization is only possible by a pure devotee. He knows completely the Supreme Personality of Godhead. All the super soul, impersonal, everything is a partial understanding of the Krishna. Therefore, Krishna says, Janma karma chame divam evam jo beti tattvato. In truth means incomplete. And Krishna says, only bhaktya mama vijananti jamanja chasami tattvato. Only by pure devotional service one can know. All other things are very partial. But still they have their destination, different destination. Krishna manifests according to their thing. Supposing somebody wants to merge, okay, you merge into my Brahmajyoti. If somebody wants to understand the super soul, okay. So different people, different processes, that different destination. Different way Krishna manifests and award them accordingly, according to their intensity of love, according to their realization. It's not that every path comes to the Jathamat Tathapal. No. Every path goes to the same destination. That is, Krishna has refuted this. Jathamang prapandyante stang tathevi aham bhajami. As you surrender, I reward accordingly. No, not that I will come with $100 and I want to get a diamond. It is not possible. No. So that is one thing Krishna has refuted. This Mayavadis, they say that like this. And next verses is very important lesson. Men in this world desire success in footive activity. Therefore, they worship the demigods. Quickly, of course, men gets result from footive worker in this world. This is another important. Polytheism. Polytheism, Krishna rejected. What is this polytheism? God is one. This monotheism. Krishna say, those people, those who are demigod worshippers, they do not know that. Kamishta hita jnana. prapadyante anya devata tam tam niyatam astaya prakata niyata soya. So those who are, what is that called? Kamis, those who have got material desire, they surrender to the devotee, demigods. They surrender to the, they take shelter of the demigod. They worship the demigods like Brahma, Chandra, Indra, Lord Shiva, Ganesh, Durga, all the demigods. And they get the result of their footy work in this world. They get it. But the problem is that their result is temporary and not also limited. Krishna says, antavattu phalam tesam tad bhavati alpamedasam. Those who are intelligent is very small. They are taken over by material desire. They worship the demigod, and the fruits they get, that is limited and temporary. They're limited and temporary. And devan janti devo aji madbhakta janti mam. Those who are worshipper of demigod, they go to demigod planet. But my devotee goes to my planet. What is the wrong in that? Demigod planet also temporary. Brahma Bhuvanal Lok, the highest demigod planet called Brahma's Lok. That also is temporary. Brahma Bhuvanal Lok, Punaravartinna Arjuna. Again they have to come back, undergo all this, undergoing the process of, birth, death, disease, old age. Even the impersonalist, they fall down and they become a tree. Even the demigod worshipper, they go to demigod after enjoying, they will fall down, become a grass. And again, evolutionary process, they become human being. So this is all this tedious process, temporary. This is not good. Therefore, the polytheism is not advocated by Krishna. Krishna says monotheism. He is the supreme God. Krishna said in 9:24 that Krishna, Krishna is the supreme Lord. All others are demigods, and their worship is not so. Krishna says, "Aham mi sarva jagyanam bhakta cha prabhureva cha natu mama vijananti tattena chabyanti te." I am the enjoyer, only enjoyer, master of all sacrifice. Therefore, those who do not recognize my true transcendental nature fall down. Therefore, all demigod worship, all impersonalists, yogi, pogi, they fall down. They do not know. We don't have like polytheism, we have called monotheism. All these gods, demigods are part and parcel of the Lord. Departmental head, director of different departmental in the universal affair. They're part and parcel of the Lord. Therefore, they worship Abhidhi Purvakam. They were not actually, they are not doing correctly. Those who are devotee of other gods, who worship them with faith, actually worship only me, Osonam Kunti. But they do in a wrong way. They do wrong way. Because their demigods are part and parcel. Instead of pouring the water on the root, they are pouring the water on the leaves, twigs. Therefore, it is a wrong way of watering. You should water the root. So anyway, in this way, Krishna is speaking about the polytheism. He is refuting again the polytheism. So this is beautiful, how to correct understanding of the knowledge, Then again, he is speaking about another very important point. Chaturbanyam asustam guna karma vivagasa. Dasya kartaram apimam vidhi akartaram abhayam. So Krishna says, according to the three modes of material nature, the work ascribed to them, the four divisions of human society were created by me. And although I am the creator of this system, you should know that I am yet non-doer, being unchangeable. So here Krishna established the point that this caste system, this four division of human society, social and spiritual division, is not a caste system, is not a exploitative or according to the birth, but according to the work and quality. Guna karma vibhagasa. It's not an exploitative system. No, it's not a caste system according to birth, but it's a very scientific division of social and spiritual division, according to one quality and work. And this is happening in the modern world. There is a people who are intelligent class of people. There is a people who are administrative class of people. There's a people who are mercantile class of people, businessmen, people who are Sudras or labor class of people. Every country, they have got this scientific division. We cannot deny that. We cannot refute this. There is no denying of the fact. So this is scientific division. This is not a caste system or very exploitative system. So according to their work, they do work according to their karma guna, just like somebody inclined to engineer, doctor. They do their work, Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra. And they also can get perfection by doing gradually. When they connect their fruit or result of their activities to Krishna, that is called karma yoga. But they cannot connect unless they have this transcendental knowledge. Unless they come to the Krishna consciousness, which is transcendental knowledge. So therefore, the transcendental knowledge is very important for everybody to know, so that they know how to work in this material world, so that they will not entangle in the karma. The next verses onwards, Krishna is speaking about the characteristic of karma. What is karma? What is big karma? Definition, understanding of karma, action. So here in the next verses, we will see Krishna say that he created all the systems so that people will work according to their guna and karma, according to the quality and nature. So when they work it, then they will be progressively and gradually elevated to spiritual consciousness. So here Krishna says, Namam karmani limpanti name karma phalasva iti mam jo vijananti karma vinasasab sabhyate. Here says, there is no work that affects me, nor I aspire for fruit of action. One who understands this truth about me also does not become entangled in fruitive action of work. This is a very important point. Krishna says that although I created this system, that scientific division, the Brahmana, Kshatriya, according to guna, karma, they will work. Everybody should work. Gradually, they will be coming to spiritual platform. But for me, although I created, but I am not in the system. Just like a proprietor. A proprietor is not responsible for the workers' activities. So similarly, Krishna say that I am not, although I am this creator of fourth division, but I do not belong to this fourth division. I am not. Because all the fourth division has got the reaction. Either you are a Brahmana, Kshatriya, engineer, doctor, everything. You have got reaction. Every action has got equal and opposite reaction. Newtonian law of action. So Krishna telling, I created, but I am not this, because I am not the conditioned soul. It is created for the conditioned soul so that they can work and gradually come to the platform of spiritual consciousness. So how they will work, Krishna will explain in the next verses. But here it is said that Krishna, I am not in that platform. I'm transcendental. My activities are transcendental. So therefore, although I created this division, but I am not inside that division. I do not belong to any division. Usually Brahmanas mode of goodness. They work in mode of goodness. Kshatriya mode of passion. Vaishya mode of passion and ignorance. And Shudras are mode of ignorance. But Krishna is transcendental. So namam karmani limpanti. So also in Brahma Samhita it is stated that Brahma Samhita we will show this verse later. Okay. So here Krishna is next verses Krishna is speaking about the karmas, different type of karma, how we can understand the karma, akarma, vikarma, etc. So all the liberated soul in an ancient time acted with this understanding, so attain liberation. Therefore, as the ancient, you should perform your duty in the divine consciousness. That is important. That is important. Whole idea of this division or social division or spiritual division to come to the point of divine consciousness. Because in material consciousness, we are entangled with action and reaction. Therefore, we are suffering birth after birth. But when you come to the spiritual consciousness or divine consciousness, our action will not have any reaction. And to come to that divine consciousness, we have to have a knowledge, transcendental knowledge, how to come to that material consciousness, divine consciousness. How to dovetail our activity so that we will not entrapped in this karmic reaction. That is whole idea. So Krishna is explaining how to come to that divine consciousness in next verses and onwards. Kim karma kim akarmeti kavayapi atra mohitaha tatte karma pravakhyami yat ganta mukhyasi asubhat. Even an intelligent builder in determining what is action, what is inaction. Now I shall explain to you what action is, knowing which you shall be liberated from all sin. See, now Krishna is speaking all this transcendental knowledge. How we can do the action? We cannot say that I cannot do action. No, inaction is also sinful. Not inaction, no action is also sinful. We cannot do the no action even. But our mind will be thinking of something which is sinful. Mithyachara, they say. There is no question of no action. Krishna said nobody can maintain his body when one has to act. In chapter 3, test 5 and 8. So we have to work, but we have to see that our work should not entangle us. Therefore, Krishna is showing that how to liberate from all these sins. Because every action, whether it's pious or impious, that is sinful. That is infection. Pious also we have to get reaction, and impious also we have to get reaction. It doesn't matter whether pious or impious. So therefore, we have to learn from Krishna how to act, or Krishna's representative. Therefore, it is said that we should go to the Mahajana, Mahajana Jana Getasa Pantha, without taking shelter of the pure devotees of the Lord. Mahajana, they are representative of the Lord, exalted devotee of the Lord. We cannot ascertain how to work, how to perform our duty. That is the main important thing everybody should learn, to follow the Mahajana. Krishna in the later chapter is telling you should go to a Mahajana, a spiritual master who knows the art of working. He will teach you this transcendental knowledge so that we can get out from this material world. In the next verses, Krishna is speaking more specifically about this how to get out. Krishna say here, Karmanovi abhi bodhabhyam bodhabhyam cha vikramana akarmana cha bodhabhyam gahana karmana gati. The intricate of action are very hard to understand. Therefore, one should know properly what action, what forbidden action, what is inaction. There are three things: karma, akarma, vikarma. Karma means prescribed duty. You are a Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra. Krishna has created all spiritual division, social division. You work accordingly. According to quality you acquire. Then, vikarma means against the religious principle. You act against this. That is called vikarma. Violate it. Then akarma is action. You do the action, but it has no reaction. That means your action is only in connection with God and relationship with God, or in the platform of spiritual consciousness or Krishna consciousness. Then you will not have any reaction. At that stage, you will be liberated from the karmic action and reaction process. And to know that, you must have a transcendental knowledge. Otherwise, we cannot just, if somebody say you act in this way, he cannot act unless he is enlightened, educated in spiritual knowledge or transcendental knowledge. Therefore, Krishna say this intricacy is very, very difficult. To understand this, very, very important, because if liberated from this material bondage. And you should understand to the Mahajana Jana Gatasa Pantha. It is said that the dharma by tarka pratishtha, by argument, one cannot understand this. See, this is a very beautiful verses. It is stated here. There's a beautiful verses. It is said that that Mahajana Jana Gatasapanta. Through Mahajana you can get it. Because the verse is there where it is said that through Mahajana. Because we cannot understand ourselves. Therefore, we have to follow the Mahajanasa Gatasapanta. There's a beautiful verses in the Srimad Madhya. It is stated here. So people do not know that how to know you should approach. We cannot know yourself that what is real karma, how to perform your duty. Therefore, everybody is entangled. Tarka pratishtha suteya vivinna naso rishiyasya matam navinnam dharmasya tattvam nitam guyam mahajana jana gatasapanta. Whole our spiritual life based on this verse. We cannot, just like Arjuna, do not know how to perform his duty. Is confused as a Kshatriya, what I should do, whether I should fight or not. Therefore, he approaches Krishna, accepted Krishna as spiritual master. Now, if Krishna is not there, his representative is there. They are called Mahajana. They are called pure devotee. We should approach a pure devotee. Then we can understand that how to perform our duty so that we will not be entangled. Arjuna was fearing that if he is now killing his own relatives, family, he will be implicated by sins. He will go to hell. In chapter 5, first chapter, he is telling, why should I is killing his own family, although they are aggressor, it is not good. We will go to hell. He's concluded with that proposition and notion that killing his own family, we will go to hell. So he was not knowing the principle of work action. Therefore, he accepted Krishna, who is a guide. Therefore, we should accept also a spiritual master, the Mahajana. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself said that dry arguments are inconclusive. We may argue, I may argue. What is the use of that? A great personality whose opinion does not differ from others is not considered a great sage. Different people have different opinion, contradictory opinion. We cannot ascertain how to perform duty, what is real dharma. Simply by studying Vedas, which are variegatedness, one cannot come to the right path by which religious principles are understood. No, Vedas also very vast and variegatedness. We cannot understand. So how to understand? The solid truth of religious principle is hidden in the heart of an unadulterated, self-realized person. Consequently, Shastra confirm one should accept whatever the progressive path the Mahajana advocate. So we should follow the Mahajana. Therefore, Krishna also later chapter he told you should approach the spiritual master, a Mahajana. He knows what is the religious principle, what is our dharma, how to perform our duty. Dharma also called occupation. How to perform our duty so that we will not be entangled in this material world, but liberated. Whole idea, as I told you repeatedly, Prabhupada is telling throughout the Bhagavad Gītā, chapter 1 to 18, whole scheme of Bhagavad Gītā is to get us out from this material entanglement, come to the spiritual consciousness. All the yoga, all these verses are meant for that. Krishna is speaking all this, only one scheme, one plan, one program to get us out from this material entanglement. And this is therefore we should follow to know what is karma, what is not karma. Therefore, Krishna says that the intricacy of action are very hard to understand. It's not easy to understand. We cannot understand ourselves. Therefore, we should follow a Mahajana, a devotee, pure devotee to know. So here Krishna says, karmani akarmana jo paschad akarmani cha karmaya sa buddhiman manusyasu ye yukta Krishna karma krit. This is a very, very important verse. One who sees the inaction in action, action in inaction is intelligent among men. He is in transcendental position, although engaged in all sort of activities. See, these verses, what you are going to understand? Nothing. If you read yourself, you cannot understand this verse. Krishna is telling the formula how to liberate from your action, although you will work everything. You go to office, you go to business factory, but still you will not be implicated. So how a person acting in Krishna consciousness is naturally free from the bond of karma. See, a person acting in Krishna consciousness is naturally free from bond of karma. His activities are all performed for Krishna. Therefore, he does not enjoy or suffer any of the effect of work. Consequently, he is intelligent in human society, even though he is engaged in all sort of activities for Krishna. Akarma means without reaction to work. Without a reaction. So therefore, every work has to be done for Krishna. So that is a beautiful verses in 1155 Bhagavad Gita. Krishna has told, if you follow this one, then you will be liberated immediately. You will not be implicated. Krishna say that mat karma krin mat pranam parama mad bhakta sanga barjita nirvahi sarvabhutesu yemam iti pandava. See, Krishna here say, my dear Arjuna, he who engaged in my pure devotional service, free from contamination of fruitive activity, mental speculation, he works for me, who makes me the supreme goal of his life, who is friendly to every living being, he certainly comes to me. That is whole Bhagavad Gita. These verses is all. We don't need anything if this verses is there. If anybody understand this verse, he understand whole Bhagavad Gita. He understand everything, all philosophy. Prabhupada himself say. Prabhupada says that anyone who wants to approach Supreme of all personality Godhead, Krishna Loka planet, Prabhupada says that this Bhagavad Gita is a book. Therefore, this verse is considered to be the essence of Bhagavad Gita. Why? Because this is all about how to, everybody has to act here. Either you are an impersonalist or a devotee or a karmi or a yogi. Whatever the process, whatever the action you do, you cannot escape from the action. But how to make your action such that you will not have any reaction. Therefore, Krishna say, one who sees the action in inaction, although a person is acting, but there is no inaction, means there is no reaction. That is called Krishna consciousness work. Krishna say, work for me. Make me the supreme goal of his life. Manmana bhava madabhakta madajaji mam namaskar. Krishna say, you work for me. My sarvani karmani. Everything, all your work surrender to me. Work for me. Make me supreme goal. Free from fruitive activities. No, do not attach to the fruits. Engage my pure devotional service. That is the way we should act. So Krishna here is telling that one should know properly what action, what forbidden action, what inaction. Sorry, this Krishna here say that one who sees inaction in action, action in inaction, is intelligent among men. He is in transcendental position, although engaged in all sort of activity. Although some people do not do inaction, but still they are implicated. Seemingly, they are not doing anything, but they are implicated. But any work which is not connected to Krishna has a reaction. Therefore, one should have a transcendental knowledge that so that one can work in Krishna consciousness. Working in Krishna consciousness means escape from the reaction of your action. That means you liberate. That is whole idea. Of course, there is so many verses to support this one, but it's enough to know as Prabhupada's purport has been given. Therefore, Krishna also says, Sarva dharman parityada mamekam saranam bhaja antum sarva papebhyo mukhyasami. Simply you surrender. He will get rid of all the... If you engage in the Krishna service, Krishna say, I will make your all reaction zero. One is understood to be in full knowledge whose every act is devoid of desire for sense gratification. He said by sages to be a worker whose fruitive action is burnt up by the fire of perfect knowledge. That is very important. The transcendental knowledge is very important because through the transcendental knowledge or through the Krishna consciousness, one can burn all our action, reaction of our action. So that is very important. That is very important. Only a person in knowledge, otherwise he cannot. Because a person who is Krishna consciousness, he does not want to sense gratify. Just like Arjuna. Initially, he wanted to gratify his senses. He do not want to fight. He declined to fight. But when you understand this knowledge, transcendental knowledge, the Gita wisdom, then he told, no, I will do. I will fight now because you wanted. You wanted. This is a plan of Krishna. I want to satisfy your senses. That is important. That is called Krishna consciousness. Krishna consciousness, the simple formula of Krishna consciousness to satisfy the Krishna's plan, Krishna's will. Krishna's senses. Husikesha, husikena, husikesha sevanam. With our senses, we should satisfy Krishna's senses, not our senses. That is called divine consciousness or Krishna consciousness platform, spiritual consciousness. So whole this process by which the conditioned soul get out from the material atmosphere is called Krishna consciousness. So Krishna is enlightening us and educating us that how to get out from this material atmosphere by performing work for me. Mat karma kit, work for me, work in Krishna consciousness. So all these things is very easy to understand if you follow the Prabhupada's lecture and purport. Abandoning all attachment to the result of his activity, ever satisfy independently, perform no fruitive action, although engage in all kind of undertaking. This is like a devotee. Devotee are doing everything, but they are not attached. Just like a accountant. Accountant is counting so much money, giving to everybody, but he is not attached. He know it doesn't belongs to me. So therefore, a devotee knows that everything is proprietor. Krishna is the proprietor. Isavasyam idam sarvam. Bhaktaram jagyam tapasam sarvalokam maheshwara. So therefore, he does not have attachment. He do for the Krishna, that's all. He does not have attachment whether the loss or profit. Just like an employee, he is not bothered about the loss and profit of the company. The boss is responsible. So he is working for the boss. Therefore, if you work for Krishna, therefore, reaction, action, that is completely in the hand of Krishna. So we are not attached. A Krishna consciousness person, therefore, he is not very much, he is not attached to any result. Fruitive action means we desire some result. Just like I am going to office, I desire my salary so that I can, make my livelihood. I can enjoy my senses, increase my sense gratification. But a devotee do not have all the things. He is working for Krishna. Everything goes to Krishna. All result goes to Krishna. Unless one come to become a devotee or Krishna consciousness platform, he cannot do all the things. Therefore, the transcendental knowledge. After Karma Yoga, Krishna is, the next chapter is transcendental knowledge, today's chapter. Why? Because simply you do karma, but we do not have knowledge how to connect your result of your activities to the Supreme Lord or Divine. Then you will be implicated. Therefore, Krishna spoke. After Karma Yoga, he is speaking transcendental knowledge. It's not like Krishna is speaking something randomly. No, everything in Bhagavad Gītā is very systematic. Therefore, Prabhupada said that we should study Bhagavad Gītā cohesively, not just randomly here and there. Next verse is there. Now it is we can go faster. Such a man understanding acts with the mind intelligence perfectly controlled, give up all sense of proprietary over his possession, acts only for the bare necessity of life. Thus working he is not affected by sinful reaction. Very, very nice. See how Krishna is bringing the devotee. Once you become a devotee, what you will do? That we have to become detached from, that is the formula. Detached from the work, must be situated in full knowledge. In full knowledge, unless one is situated in full knowledge, it is not possible to detach from the work. That is not possible. So therefore it is stated here that the devotee, they abandon all the result of the work. Not only abandon all the result of the work, also dovetail with supreme desire. He knows that everything belongs to Krishna, so everything I will do for Krishna. He does not expect good result, bad result in his activity. This is good, this is bad. No. Everything his mind and intelligence is control. He knows he is a part and parcel of the Lord. He is meant for to cooperate with Krishna or to serve Krishna. Therefore, he is not entangled. Therefore, he is completely acting in Krishna consciousness. He acts only bare necessity of life, how to maintain the body and soul together. That's all. That's all. Just like my hand is moving. But a Krishna consciousness person, his hand is moving only for Krishna. So just like my hand is moving means it does not move out of my own accord. Because whole body, by the endeavor of the whole body. Therefore, Krishna consciousness person always dovetail the supreme desire. He does everything for Krishna. The next verses, Krishna is speaking about the he who is satisfied with gain which comes to his own accord, who is free from duality, does not envy, who is steady both in success and failure, is never entangled, although performing action. So this kind of thing, only a person in Krishna consciousness is above duality. If we do not come to the Krishna consciousness, we cannot become above duality. You will have a like honor, dishonor, love, hate, like this. So here it is said that a person who is transcendental knowledge or who is in Krishna consciousness, he does not bother about success and failure. He knows that his only thing is to act for Krishna, either success or failure, nothing. Just like Prabhupada. Prabhupada was so transcendental, so Krishna consciousness. He, at the age of 68, he went to America in the freighter. He did not bother about success and failure. I have to execute my duties. That's all. I used to satisfy my spiritual master, satisfy my Krishna, my Lord. He did not bother. He did not think of that whether I will be successful or unsuccessful. That is called Krishna consciousness. When you come to that Krishna consciousness, or when you will have that transcendental knowledge, then you will not be bothered about success and failure. That is whole idea thing, see. This is the science of one who are in full transcendental knowledge. The next verses, Krishna say that the work of a man who is unattached to the modes of material nature, who is fully situated in transcendental knowledge, merges entire into transcendence. So this is also same thing. Krishna is actually action by Krishna consciousness person is meant for the sacrifice of satisfying the supreme person. That is Jagya. What is called Jagya? It says Jagya. Here also it says Jagya. What is that Jagya mean? Jagya means to satisfy Krishna. That's all. Whole process of Jagya to sacrifice, or sacrifice is meant to come to the point of transcendental knowledge or Krishna consciousness. To purify us. That is whole idea. So we should work such as that it should satisfy Krishna. That's all. And how to know that? Through the spiritual master, through the Mahajana. Anukulyena Krishnanusilaram. We should know how to work for Krishna favorably. What Krishna wants. How can I know what Krishna wants? Through his representatives. Through the Mahajana, through spiritual master. Therefore, all his work is meant for satisfying Krishna. These are beautiful verses. Brahma Arpanam Brahma Havir Brahmanugano Brahmanahutam Brahmevate Nagantavyam Brahma Karma Samadhina. It's a very nice verse. A person who is fully absorbed in Krishna consciousness is sure to attain spiritual kingdom because of full contribution to spiritual activity, in which the consummation is absolute, which is offered is of the offered is the same spiritual nature. So here it is said that just like you are doing a Jagya. Jagya has Jagya Kunda. So whatever you are offering to Jagya Kunda, that is also part and parcel of the Krishna. So everything has to be offered for Krishna. Brahma Havir. The Brahma of the Kunda, whole Kunda, is everything is a part and parcel of the Brahma Havir means, see here, Brahma Havir means butter. The butter also is also part and parcel of Krishna, Krishna's energy. Butter is coming from the milk, milk is coming from the cow, cow is all part and parcel of the Lord. So whatever you are arpana, whatever you are contributing, that is also part of Krishna, part of the Supreme. And the fire in a Jagya, the fire also is a part and parcel of the Lord. Fire, Krishna says, that is my material energy. In the chapter 7, text 3, 4. So Krishna said, fire also my material energy. So everything is actually is offered to the who is actually real proprietor. Therefore, person who is Krishna consciousness, why he attains spiritual kingdom? Because his full contribution to spiritual activity. Everything he does is meant for Krishna. is meant for Krishna. Everything is dovetail. Not that I do not want this. No. He go to market, he buy everything material also. But it is meant for Krishna, because everything belongs to Krishna. Nothing is separate from Krishna. If anything separate from Krishna, is Maya only. So everything is meant for Krishna satisfaction. Therefore, Rupa Goswami say, Anata, what is that beautiful verse? Anasakta Sabisha. There's a beautiful verses in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. It is stated that Anasakta Sabisaya Upajunjate, Yatharang Upanjanjate. He say that Anasakta Sabisaya. So everything should not be just, should not be forsaken. Everything should not be forsaken because thinking that it is material. Because everything belongs to Krishna. Everything should be engaged in the service of Krishna. That is the whole idea. This is meant for this. These words, people do not understand why this is things. What is this? These verses is very, something which is very analogically spoken. So then next verses Krishna spoke that some yogi perfectly worship the demigods by offering different sacrifices to them. Some of them offer sacrifice in the fire of Supreme Brahma. So different sacrifices Krishna is telling. Because whatever you do, I am the Jagya Kunda, I am the butter, I am the fire. Everything meant for, yeah. But different people sacrifice different. Some worship the demigods. Some of them offer sacrifice fire to Supreme Brahman. In this way, Krishna is speaking about different sacrifice by different people. Some of them sacrifice hearing process, sense in the fire of control mind. Others sacrifice object of senses such as sound in the fire sacrifice. That means some sacrifice is very much important. Without sacrifice, we cannot disentangle from the karma. So sacrifice means we should engage our senses for the service of Krishna. Who are interested in self-realization in terms of mind and sense control of for function of all senses as well as vital forces of breath, oblation into fire of control forces. That is called pranayam. Some people, yogis, they do pranayam. All this, people do different sacrifices. Yajna, dana, tapa. Krishna said that 3 things, act of sacrifice, should not be given up. Not tajjanti. But charity, austerity, and sacrifice. The 3 things. Yajna, dana. Yajna means satisfying Vishnu by sacrificing something. There are others who enlightened by sacrificing their material possessions in severe austerity. Take strict vows, practice yoga, eightfold mysticism. Others study Veda for the advancement of transcendental knowledge. In this way, the sacrifice is going on. So, but Krishna says, after all sacrifices, there are even who are inclined to process of breath restraint to remain in trance. They practice stopping the movement of outgoing breath. That is Samadhi, Ashtanga Yoga. So different people, they do all the different things. So Krishna is explaining their different type of sacrifices. All those performers who know the meaning of sacrifice become cleansed for sinful reaction. Having tasted nectar of remnants of such sacrifices, they go to supreme eternal atmosphere. This is a very important verses. Here Prabhupada writing from the foregoing explanation of different type of sacrifice, namely sacrifice of one possession, study of Veda, philosophical doctrine, and performance of yoga system, it is found that common aim of all is to control the senses. Sense gratification is the root cause of material existence. How to control the senses? Because of sense gratification, this is a root cause of our material existence. Therefore, unless until one is situated on a platform apart from sense gratification, there is no chance of being elevated to eternal platform of full knowledge, full bliss, full life. This platform is in the eternal atmosphere or Brahman atmosphere. All the above mentioned sacrifice help one to become cleansed of the sinful reaction of material existence. By the advancement in life, one not only becomes happy, opulent in his life, but also at the end he enters into the eternal kingdom of God, either merging into the impersonal Brahman, associating with the Supreme Personality of God. So all the sacrifice has one aim, that is how to stop this our sense gratification and satisfy the Krishna senses. O best of Kuru dynasty, without sacrifice one can never be live happily on this planet or next life. What then of next? Whatever the form of material existence one is in, one invariably ignorant of the real situation. In other words, existence in the material world is due to multiple reactions to our sinful life. Ignorance is the cause of sinful life. Sinful life is the cause of one dragging into the material exile. The human form of life is only loopholes by which one may get out this entanglement. Whether therefore give us a chance for escape by pointing out the path of religion, economic comfort, regulated sense gratification, at last means to get out of miserable condition of entirety. So the performance of sacrifice has been given so that we can become happy in this life, and next life we will go back to Godhead. If we do not do sacrifice, nobody can be happy. All the different type of sacrifice approved by all of them want different type of work. Knowing them as such, you will become liberated. So you should know that all the sacrifice born of the activities. Through our activities, we sacrifice. Therefore, everything born, different type of sacrifice are discussed above mentioned in the Veda to suit the different type of worker. Because men are so deeply absorbed in the bodily concept. These sacrifices are so arranged that one can work either with the body or mind or the intelligence, but all of them are recommended for ultimately bringing about liberation from the body. This is confirmed by the Lord herewith from his own mouth. See, because everybody in this world is working, they are entangled in reaction. They are working with the body, mind, intelligence. So how they can get liberated? Through the performance of sacrifice. Yajna Bhai Vishnu. So without doing that, this is impossible to get out from this thing. So how to, then Krishna is speaking about the very important subject matter, the final 5-6 verses, where Krishna is speaking about this transcendental knowledge, how to acquire. O chastiser as enemy, the sacrifice of knowledge is greater than sacrifice of material possession. O son of Partha, after all, sacrifice of work culminates in transcendental knowledge. So here it is said that transcendental knowledge, sacrifice of knowledge is greater than sacrifice of material possession. Because all the sacrifice of work culminate to transcendental knowledge. Without that, we cannot get out. Because purpose of all sacrifice to arrive at the status of complete knowledge. Why you are sacrificing? All the senses are sacrifices, or this something possession are sacrifices. It will come to the complete knowledge, transcendental knowledge. No gain released from material misery, and ultimately to engage in loving transcendental service to the Supreme Lord Krishna consciousness. Nonetheless, there is a mystery about all the different activity of sacrifice. One should know this mystery. Sacrifice sometimes take different form according to the particular faith of the performer. When one's faith reaches to the stage of transcendental knowledge, the performer of sacrifice should be considered more advanced than others who simply sacrifice material possession without such knowledge. For without attainment of knowledge, sacrifice remain on the material platform, which to no spiritual benefit. See, there is very important thing. Somebody sacrifices, somebody prays to demigods, somebody prays impersonal. These all the things will not bestow the real knowledge. They have to become, it should culminate to the point of transcendental knowledge, high stage of transcendental knowledge. Without coming that, there is no question of going back to Godhead. It has to culminate to the point. Karma kanda, jnana kanda, all this come to the point of bhakti. Without bhakti, Krishna here say that everything come to the transcendental knowledge. Otherwise, sometimes they pray demigods, they pray some sacrifice, some charity, they do charity, they pray demigod worship, they pray impersonalist. No, the Mayavadi, impersonal, God is impersonal. So, all God is super soul. All these things has to culminate to the transcendental knowledge. It has to culminate. Otherwise, there is no spiritual value of this. Still, it is a material platform. Therefore, Krishna says that out of all the things, sacrifice of knowledge is important, because that will bring us to the transcendental knowledge platform. That will bring us to the point where we can escape from this material atmosphere. So how Krishna is bringing everybody. Nobody is bereft of his mercy. Everybody can, minor workers, working karmi, they can come by the process of understanding how to do sacrifice. How to. Therefore, Bhagavad Gītā is very important for everybody. Tadvidi pranipatena paripesana sepai pradikhyandi gyalam ganinam tatadarsina. Just try to learn the truth, approaching a spiritual master, inquire from him submissively, render service unto him. The self-realized soul can impart knowledge unto you because he has seen the truth. That transcendental knowledge, we cannot get yourself. One can get through the spiritual master, Tattvadarshi, who knows the truth, bona fide spiritual master. So we should approach them and submissively, pranipatena, pariprate, prani means prakeshta rupena, patana means like a slate, don't know, blank, not that I'm challenging, I am to, you cannot challenge and acquire knowledge. Material knowledge based on your caliber, but spiritual knowledge based on your character, your submissiveness. You cannot obtain spiritual knowledge by your caliber. I am so erudite scholar, I am a brainy. No, by your conduct, by your character, by your submissiveness. Krishna say here. Mundane knowledge, material knowledge is different. Your caliber you can get it, but not spiritual knowledge. It is a rahasya. You cannot. Therefore, there is a verse is there from Satusara Upanishad. Jasadeve parabhakti jathadeve tatha guru tasyati katitai arthat prakasande mahatmana. Who has unflinching faith in spiritual master and the Supreme Lord Krishna, the purport of the Shastra will be revealed to them. It's a revelation. It's not an acquisition, it's a revelation. You cannot acquire this knowledge by your by your own effort, by your own caliber, your academic qualification, academic talent. No. It has to be coming through a spiritual master and submissively inquiring. So what is the benefit of this knowledge? And when you have thus learned the truth, you will know all the living beings, but part of me, they are in me, are mine. So when you know that, this knowledge, that everybody is a part and parcel of the Lord. Even if you are considered to be the most sinful of all sinners, when you are situated in the boat of transcendental knowledge, you will be able to cross over the ocean of misery. That is the gargantuan benefit of this knowledge. If you have transcendental, simply knowing that I am the part and parcel of the Lord, I am meant to serve the Lord. Simply by knowing that, even not acting, still you will be liberated. You know how much Krishna is giving. Situated in the boat of transcendental, proper understanding of constitutional position in relation to Krishna, so nice that it can at once lift one from the struggle for existence, goes in the ocean of Nissan to the spiritual atmosphere. See, simply by understanding one constitutional position. It's like someone, if you are drowning and someone in the ocean, Titanic, like somebody coming and lifting you up. This is called this transcendental knowledge. He's lifting us, although we are drowning in this material existence. So the next verse is that sorry, another 3 verses it will finish. So next one is, sorry, the next verses is about same thing. Next verses Krishna say that as a blazing fire turns fire into ashes, Arjuna, so does the fire of knowledge burns into ashes of all reaction to material activity. The same thing, like a blazing fire. The transcendental knowledge is like a fire. It burns up all the reactions of pious, impious activities of the conditioned soul. So you should understand what I am, what is my constitutional position, and what is God, what is my relationship with God. Simply by understanding it burns up all the reaction of impious activity. We have got so many reactions. Every karma has a different 4 type of reaction. It is in the plant seed stage, it is not fructify, it is in the fructify, it is still about to fructify. All these things, reaction of our karma, is born up by simply by understanding this transcendental knowledge, that I am, what is my constitutional position in relationship with Krishna. The beautiful verses in this regard also, they are in 11, 14, 11, 19, 14. In this world, there is nothing to sublime and pure as transcendental knowledge. Such knowledge is mature fruit of all mysticism, and one who has achieved this enjoys the self within himself in due course of time. See, Krishna say that there is nothing is so pure, is the most sublime and pure. highest of everything, this one. So Krishna may say that faithful man who is absorbed in transcendental knowledge, who subdue his senses quickly, attain the supreme spiritual peace. See, everybody wants peace, but unless one come to the transcendental knowledge, one cannot get any spiritual peace. But ignorant, faithless person who doubt the revealed scripture do not attain God consciousness. For doubting soul, there is happiness neither in this world nor in the next. That is very important. Those who are doubt, because Krishna is speaking here, not ordinary people. Krishna is speaking. Those who are doubting this one, what will happen? That there is no spiritual emancipation. Doubtful person, no status whatsoever in spiritual emancipation. Those are doubting. Because Bhagavad Gītā is a very authoritative revealed scripture, because it is coming out from this God. God is free from all kind of defect. So this knowledge, who has a doubt, they will fall down. And so many person, trying to challenge the wisdom of the Gita. They're doubting, so they will fall down. They will not, Krishna say. Therefore, one who has renounced the fruit of his action, whose doubts are destroyed by transcendental knowledge, who is situated firmly in the self, is not bound by work or conqueror of it. So Krishna says, who therefore one should follow the principles revealed in scripture with faith, thereby raised to the platform of knowledge. Not that one should be doubting like this. Only knowledge will help us to become promoted the transcendental platform of spiritual understanding. Without that, we cannot. Therefore, the doubt which has arisen in your heart out of ignorance should be slashed by the weapon of knowledge. Armed with yoga, O Bharat, stand and fight. So how Krishna is so much enlightening, educating, that you should have knowledge that how to act. All your ignorance, out of ignorance only, you are thinking, I should not fight, I should not kill my father, fighting is not good for me, good for society, so and so forth. But it's all ignorance, because you have no transcendental knowledge. So we should cut your doubt by or ignorance by the transcendental knowledge. I'm with yoga. Go Bharat, stand and fight. Krishna is telling, now you fight. Get up and fight. So this is the end of the this end of this this is the end of yoga system instructed. This chapter is called Sanatana Yoga, eternal activity performed by living entity. Yoga has two divisions of sacrificial action. One is called sacrifice of one material possession, other is called knowledge of the self, which is pure spiritual activity. If sacrifice of one material possession is not propel for spiritual realization, then such sacrifice becomes material. But one who performs a sacrifice with a spiritual objective or in devotional service makes a perfect sacrifice. When you come to the spiritual activity, we find that these are also divided into, namely, understanding of oneself and truth regarding the Supreme Personality of Godhead. One who follows the path of Gita as it is can very easily understand those very important division of spiritual knowledge. For him, there is no difficulty in obtaining perfect knowledge. As such, understanding is beneficial for such a person who easily understands the transcendental activities of the Lord. So, Krishna is now ending up this verses that one has to come to this platform of yoga, and by this process, platform of transcendental knowledge, by this process one can come to the spiritual atmosphere. So out of different sacrifice, transcendental knowledge is very important. Knowledge is important. If you do not have transcendental knowledge, it's very difficult. Simply material possession if you do, but without spiritual activities, you are entangled. If a spiritual objective is there, just for Krishna, that also will help us to coming to the point of this transcendental knowledge. And transcendental knowledge also, there is, who am I, what is my God, who is God, and what is my relationship with God, and what is my action, relative activities, relative function or relative action. In this way, by understanding, even simply by understanding this transcendental knowledge, one can get out from this spiritual, material atmosphere to spiritual atmosphere. So thank you very much. This is the end of chapter 4, transcendental knowledge. So once we are armed with transcendental knowledge, then we can act very nicely. Action in Krishna consciousness, which is chapter 5. We will learn chapter 5 in the next session. Thank you very much. Gantara Srimad Bhagavad Gītā ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Nitai Gaura Hari.